The blue dress has seams that are practically screaming for mercy. I feel bloaty, Jeff, like I'm being fumigated for termites. You're not fat, Audrey. You're the same size you've been for 12 years. Are you calling me a liar? She snapped. I feel fat. Therefore, I am fat. It's the law of feminine physics. Jeff took a deep breath. He realized that this was just like a sports game. When your team is losing, you don't change the rules, you change the strategy. Look, he said, walking over and wrapping his arms around her. Your body issues are just like my nicks. When the shots aren't falling and the defense is weak, you feel like the whole world is ending, but you're still the same team. You're still a championship caliber wife. Audrey looked at him in the mirror. Did you just compare my thighs to a struggling basketball franchise? It's a compliment. I've been rooting for you since I was 5. Wait, no, that came out wrong. Audrey laughed, the tension breaking. You're terrible at this, Jeff. I know. Now, put on that oversized sweatshirt I got from Adam's warehouse guy. It's huge. You could fit a family of 4 in there. You won't feel bloaty. You'll feel like you're living in a tent. They went to the game. Audrey wore the irregular sweatshirt, looking like she was being swallowed by gray cotton, but she sat in the floor seats with her head held high. When the Jumbotron caught them, Jeff looked like a proud owner, and Audrey looked like a woman who was finally comfortable in her own, albeit very large, skin. Chapter 11. The Sequoia Stain. Meanwhile, the Rhodes Morgan apartment was undergoing a literal transformation. Jennifer, fueled by a desire to be the perfect frugal fiancée, had decided that the $200 she spent at Philippe's salon every month was a luxury they could no longer afford. I'm doing it myself, Adam, she shouted from the bathroom. It's a kit, Twilight Sequoia. It sounds romantic, doesn't it? Adam sat in the living room, playing a game of solitaire on his laptop, a poor substitute for the gaming console he'd returned. Romantic is a word for it. Volatile is another. 30 minutes later, the screaming started. Adam rushed into the bathroom to find Jennifer covered in what looked like dark chocolate sauce. It was on her forehead, her ears, the sink, and most tragically her hands. It won't come off, she wailed. It's burning my eye. Adam, get it out. It's Sequoia, Adam shouted, grabbing a towel. It's not supposed to be on your eyeballs. It's for the hair. The dead protein on top of your head. By the time the emergency rinse was over, the bathroom looked like the site of a very specific, forest-themed massacre. The towels were ruined, the shower curtain had brown streaks, and Jennifer's hair was a color that didn't exist in nature, a sort of muddy purple that pulsed under the fluorescent lights. I look like a goth grape, Jennifer sobbed. A very beautiful, frugal goth grape, Adam said, trying to be supportive while secretly calculating the cost of repainting the bathroom. I want to go back to Philippe, she whispered. I want to spend the money. I want to be a frivolous person again. Me too, Adam admitted. Solitaire sucks. I keep cheating and I still don't win. Let's just go back to our old lives. We'll take fewer cabs. We'll walk. We'll eat dog food if we have to, as long as your hair is the right color and I can blow things up on a flat screen. Chapter 12. The Double Entendre Girl. Russell Dunbar was experiencing a different kind of torture. He was dating Jessie, a woman who was statistically incapable of speaking without making it sound like she was in a low-budget adult film. Can you just slide it in my slot? She asked the mailman as Russell watched from the doorway. The mail slot, Russell muttered to himself. She means the mail slot. Later that night, at the opening of her new club, Jessie was in top form. I've been riding the staff all night long, she told Russell, her face bright with professional pride. It takes a little time for things to heat up down there, so try not to come too early. Russell stood there, his jaw clenched. His desires were being poked and prodded by her vocabulary, but the actual engagement was nowhere to be found. She's the she of That's What She Said, Russell complained to Jeff and Adam at the bar. She's the source, but she doesn't know she's doing it. It's like being teased by a saint who accidentally talks like a sinner. Maybe you should just tell her, Adam suggested, sipping a beer. And ruin the magic? No. I have to find out if there's a brain behind the double entendres. I have to know if she's smart. Russell approached Jessie near the DJ booth. Jessie, quick question. What do you think about global warming? Jessie paused, her eyes thoughtful. Well, Russell, I think we need to seriously cut down on our carbon emissions and aggressively search for alternative fuels. But the real problem is the ozone depletion over the Arctic. There's a giant hole sitting right over that pole. Russell blinked. She was smart, she was articulate, and she had just used the word hole. "I'm done," Russell said, turning around and walking toward the exit. "I can't win. She's too perfect. My perverted ears are the problem, not her mouth." Chapter 13. The Infinitesimal Future. The night ended, as most nights did for this group, with a slow realization of what actually mattered. Adam and Jennifer sat on their sofa, her hair now a slightly more reasonable shade, thanks to a midnight visit to an all-night drugstore, and his returned gaming console replaced by the promise of a future they didn't have to plan perfectly. "We're soulmates, aren't we?" Adam asked. "Totally," Jennifer said. "Now, give me the laptop. I want to play solitaire. I think I can beat your score if I cheat even more than you do." At the Binghams, the t-shirt quilt was pulled up to their chins. "You know," Jeff said, staring at the ceiling, "I'm glad I'm not Kegmeister Jeff from Syracuse 87 anymore. He was an idiot. He once ate a dead mouse on a bet." "That was Roy Jeff. Jimmer. You've told me that story 10 times tonight." "Right. Well, whoever it was, I'm glad I'm here, with you. And the bloaty sweatshirt, and the sluggish swimmers." Audrey smiled in the dark. "Me too, Jeff. Now, go to sleep. You have to wake up early to fill the waffle holes." Uniform saturation, Audrey. It's the only rule that matters. Outside, the city of New York continued its endless, chaotic dance. People fell in love, people got promoted, and people stained their bathrooms. Sequoia. But in these two apartments, the rules were clear. Keep the fire on, keep the memories close, and never, ever tell your wife she looks like she's being fumigated for termites. The end for now. The Unwritten Rules. A Chronicles of Love, Waffles, and Other Irregularities. Chapter 1. The Geometry of a Waffle. New York City has a specific scent in the morning, a heady cocktail of roasted coffee beans, diesel exhaust, and the faint, lingering hope of 8 million people trying to find their way home. At the local diner, a sanctuary of cracked vinyl booths and bottomless mugs of caffeine, Jeff and Audrey Bingham sat across from each other. They were a couple who had reached the comfortable stage of marriage, which, in New York terms, meant they could judge each other's eating habits without the fear of immediate divorce. Jeff, a man whose physical presence was as sturdy as a midtown skyscraper and whose patience was as thin as a subway ticket, was focused. He held a bottle of maple syrup with the precision of a surgeon. "What are you doing?" Audrey asked, her voice carrying a blend of genuine curiosity and the practiced weariness of a woman who had seen this performance for 12 years. "I like to fill up each little waffle hole with syrup," Jeff muttered, not breaking eye contact with the grid of toasted dough. "It's about distribution, Audrey. It's about the perfect syrup-to-cake ratio." Audrey leaned back, watching him. "Really? This is it? This is what's going to be happening for the rest of our lives? You, me, and the architectural structuralization of breakfast?" Jeff paused, his syrup stream hovering mid-air. He looked up, his brow furrowing. "Well, how do you do it? Just pour it on like a savage? Let the syrup run rampant, soaking the edges while leaving the center dry and desolate? No, thank you." He looked back down and gasped. "Ha! You made me miss 3 holes." Across the diner, at the counter, the contrast was sharp. Adam Rhodes and Jennifer Woods stood, their fingers interlaced with the desperate, sweaty grip of the newly engaged. For them, every breath was a shared miracle, and every minor inconvenience was a chance for a romantic montage. "2 coffees to go, please," Adam said to the waitress, flashing a smile that was far too bright for 8:30 a.m. He turned to the booth. "Hey guys, I'm heading downtown to a sports apparel warehouse. A buddy of mine works there. He hooks me up with freebies. You got any requests?" Jeff didn't look up from his waffles. "Yeah, I could use a new hood and sweatshirt. If it doesn't have the word Aeropostal across the chest in glitter, I'm in." "You got it," Adam chirped. "Might be slightly irregular, though." "Slightly," Audrey repeated with a smirk. "The last t-shirt you got from that guy gave Jeff a rash." "Adam, we don't know if it was the t-shirt," Jeff defended, finally taking a bite. "I was in several questionable hot tubs that week. It was a stressful time." As Adam and Jennifer floated out of the diner on a cloud of serotonin, the seat they vacated was immediately filled by Russell Dunbar. Russell was a man of expensive suits, predatory instincts, and a moral compass that pointed exclusively toward whatever works for Russell. He was the kind of person who viewed a no smoking sign as a suggestion and a relationship as a